Hey everybody, I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 8 English lesson on usage words or usage errors, right? And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts grade 8. And we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of usage errors. All right, so usage errors, right? So we said our chapter is it's usage errors. Our subject is English language arts. Our subject is English language arts, grade 8. And the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of usage errors is to correct errors with signs, and to correct errors in everyday life. All right. So when it comes to usage errors, right? Especially when it comes to signs, then there are certain signs, like for example, the stop sign at a traffic light, right? Or at the pedestrian crossing or something. If they write the word stop, right? So you'll know that this word means that you need to stop and you need to give either cars the right of way or something, right? But you need to stop while either cars are passing or so on. But now, once the word has, for example, an error in, for example, it either says something like that, right? Then it means that this is a specific error with within that sign or on that sign, right? So we're going to identify all the usage errors or the errors within signs, and we're also going to try and correct those signs, right? Because I mean, it's going to help us when it comes to everyday life, right? Because remember, even if you are driving, you need the signs to navigate you most times. You need to take this off turn, you need to take that off turn, right? The names of these signs on these boards will give you an indication as to which way to go down this road and down that road. All right. So now when it comes to once again our usage areas, right? Let us quickly go to a plus students.ca, and there we're going to continue with our usage areas. So we're going to correct errors with the different signs, right? So if we look at this first sign, it's like a gym advert. So it's a gym advert, right? And their slogan, is it slogan or their catchy phrase in order to get people to come to the city gym, it says stay in shape, lose weight. So now if we look at that word lose, L double O. So the word lose, if we look at that word lose with the double O, the difference is, remember, you have lose with a double O and you have lose with a with one O, right? So it says stay in shape, lose weight. So now we need to see the difference between those words. And if we look at the words here at the bottom, it says lose should be changed, which is the word with the double O. And this word needs to be changed to only one O, right? Because lose needs to be changed to lose. Lose, double O, is an adjective, right? It means that it is not tight. It's like saying your jean is loose, your shirt is loose, your jacket is loose, it's not tied, it's not tight, right? Then we have lose, which is LOSE. It is a verb which means to give up or to reduce something. So here we want to reduce our weight, right? To stay in shape, lose weight, which means that we had to now change or correct that error, which was LOOSE to LOSE. Right? So that is basically how we can correct the errors, right? With the different signs. Here it says school board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. School board meeting. And if there's a word that we need to now change, right, due to it being incorrect, then it is board. Board, right? Because that bored, it means that I'm not interested in this. I am tired. I'm bored. I want to go home. That is what that word specifically means, right? It's like you have a lack of interest, like you're not interested in something. That is what that word bored means. And it says school board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. And if we were to choose the correct one, then it means that we must choose BOARD, board meeting, right? Because board, this word board, it means a board is a committee that makes decisions for an organization. So they are having a meeting, right? And they'll probably be discussing certain things about the school, the learners, maybe policies, and so on. So board, we had to change to BOARD. It says free legal advice. There's a difference between, let me, there's a difference between advise and advise, right? There's a difference between that, right? So this word advise, we said advise. This is to give somebody recommendations for the action. It's like oopsie. It's like let me advise you on something, right? And then this advice, right? It is a recommendation for an action. So this is a noun and this is a verb. It's like I'm advising you, and this is advice that you're given. So if we look at that word free legal advice, right, then we need to change this word advise, the S, to advice with a C. So we're going to change this word to advice, right? Which is a noun because it means that a recommendation for action. All right. If we go next, right, and we're going to choose more errors that we need to fix, right? Then it says we no longer accept personal checks. We no longer accept personal checks. And if we look at these words, right, we no longer accept is needs to be changed because this is not accept. This, the way we say it is accept, right? It's like saying, um, we are going to the park except the four naughty boys, right? That is actually what it means, right? It means that we're not taking certain people with us. We are leaving you out, right? And then we have also chicks. This chick means almost like this word chicks. It's almost like let me check your bag, or it can be chick, like it's like we tick it off. So it means that these two words, right, needs to be changed. Because if we look at this word, we no longer accept. It means that you need to change this word over here, accept to accept. We need to change it to accept. It's like I'm accepting. It's like receiving. We are receiving willingly, right? So it says we no longer accept, meaning we no longer want to receive. personal chicks. And this word chicks should actually be chick. That is what it needs to be, right? So that is how we need to correct that errors. All right, so accept it is, as well as chick. They didn't mention chick. Professional signs. I can already see from here. Signs. This word signs. And lettering. So that word signs, right? So this word signs, we should not be adding the apostrophe. It should just be professional signs because they are making more than one sign, right? Once we add the apostrophe, then it means that it is a possessive noun, right? And it means that it is belonging to something. And this is not belonging to something. This is specifically signs, right? Because they are making either they're making more than one. It means that it is supposed to be plural, not something that shows possessive or takes possessiveness of it. Right? So signs is the correct word, not signs with an apostrophe. All right. If you look at the next one, it says all dogs. Oopsie. All dogs. So this word dogs must be on leashes. So all dogs must be on leashes. If they're talking about dogs, they're talking about more than one dog, right? Must be on leashes. If we write the word dogs the way they are writing it, right? Then it means that that is an apostrophe and an S and it shows possessive, right? Which means that this is incorrect. We need to just say all dogs, right? Without the apostrophe S to show that it is plural. Not one dog, but more than one dog. Because they're making mention of all the dogs, right? All right. Okay, so now we're going to our test, right? Where we are going to be correcting errors with signs. Literally the way we did it now, where we had to correct it by either choosing the correct answer or the correct word. It says we need to correct the one word. All dogs must be on leashes. Is it dogs, option one, or dogs 19? So dogs, option one, or dogs 19. All right. And if we were to choose the correct answer, remember we said dogs with an apostrophe S shows position, but over here we want to refer to more than one dog. So we will choose dogs with an plural, right? So we'll go with option one. It says, warning, do not feed the bears. There we have the word BARES. Do we write bears like that? All right. So if we look at this word bears, BARES, right? That word is written incorrectly, right? So we need to put the correct answer there by saying bears, right? Which is the little animal over there. Oh, not a little animal, the big animal. So we'll go with option one. All right, the next one says we need to correct the error. It says welcome back, students. And if we were to choose the error that we see within that sign, right? Well, if they maybe say like, yes, it is well with my soul, then well is WEWELL. But when we say welcome back, right? Then welcome back is just with one L, right? All right. Shirts for the price of one. It says shirts for the price of one. Oh, two for the price of one. So shirts, two for the price of one. And the word, look at the word to, right? That is like saying we are going to someone. It's like you're going towards someone or going, yeah. But that is not the number two, right? Because usually a lot of people make the mistakes of writing the number two either as two as in TO or T double O, right? But two for the price of one, that means it's supposed to be number two. And when we write the number two, the name, we then it will be TWO, right? All right. The school board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. School board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. All right, and we see that this word bored, which is BORD, right? It like shows a lack of interest. It's like you're not interested in it, right? And that is not the correct word. We need to, if we want to specifically talk about the board and association at the school, then we will choose the first one, board meeting. All right, here it is. We no longer accept personal checks, right? And if we look at that word accept, right, then it means that it means something else. Because accept means it's like we are not, it's not that one. But if we talk about accept, it means like we want to receive. Then we're talking about ACCEPT. So that is accept. Now we need to choose one error, right? From the profession. It says professional science and lettering. Professional science and lettering. This word science is wrong, right? Because once we add the apostrophe and s to a word, then it means that we show possession, right? It's a possessive noun. And in this case, we just want to show that it's a plural, right? Because they're doing signs, more than one sign in lettering. So which means that we need to remove the apostrophe and this word just needs to become it's just the s needs to be added to the word sign to show the plural form of the word signs, not an apostrophe. All right. Now we're going to correct errors in everyday use, right? It says, why do people always leave the dirty dishes in the sink? So it says, why do people always leave there? If we look at the word there, they are, right? They are, there is not written, if you're referring to people, right? Leaving stuff maybe in the zinc or leaving stuff around, right? Then that word there is incorrect, right? they the word that is written over there, it is a contraction, right? And a contraction is where you have like two different words and then it is shortened by an apostrophe or a comma or basically an apostrophe, right? So now you add that two words together to kind of shorten the word, right? But this word there is like saying they are, right? So which means that if we were to reread the sentence by, let's say, reading that word, then we would say, why do people always leave they are dirty dishes in the sink? Which means that that is incorrect, right? The word there is Their. And there we have the difference. So there is a contraction for they are, and the word there is a possessive pronoun that belongs to them. All right. It says, I'm so nervous about my recital today. I've hardly had time to practice. Don't stress about it, just remember to breathe. Guys, sometimes we get the difference between breathe and breath wrong, right? So in this case, right, this word breathe without the E, right, it's a noun that refers to the air that you take into your lungs. And then we have breathe is a verb that refers to inhaling and exhaling, right? So it means that don't forget to breathe with an E, not without the E. Then it says, when are you coming back? I could use some help preparing for the party. I totally forgot all of your cousins is coming too. So I had to go back to the store. Yes, so if we look at this word is, remember we use is when we refer to a singular person or thing, right? But if we're referring to a plural person or thing, then we use the word are. So that's supposed to be, I totally forgot that all of your cousins are coming, not is coming, right? Because is refer to something that is plural. All right, so now we're going to our test. And we are going to correct the errors. Yeah, what they say, we need to correct one error within this sentence or within this text. I totally forgot that all your cousins is coming too. So we need to correct that one error, right? And we specifically said when we refer to a singular person or thing, then we say is. But since we're referring to a plural person, which is cousins, we then say are coming, right? Because that refers to plural. So are coming. All right. It says here, when are you coming back? I could use help preparing for the party. I totally forgot that all your cousins is coming too, so I had to go back to the store. I don't see that. Okay, I guess we must use the word kind. Uh, all right. Okay. Your dog keeps jumping into a pool. Your dog keeps jumping into a pool. Well, to be fair, he is a Portuguese water dog, right? So, which means that if we were to correct that error, your, right, it means possessive, right? I'm not possessive. Your means that it's a contraction. That means you are. So, that is a contraction for you are, right? So, which means that we need to change that and we just need to say, we just need to write down the plural, the pronoun, which is your and not your, you are. So, your. All right. We need to correct the one error. When are you coming back? I could use some help preparing for the party. I think they are repeating. And then yeah, we're just gonna have to use autumn because we don't get autumn, right? And yeah, they're giving us the very same thing. Okay, let's just say days. I'm not sure why they're giving us the same picture. Ebo. All right, so now we're looking at the, like, I think it's the pen that is leaking. It says, you know it's Monday when your pen just randomly explodes. So when the your pen just randomly explodes. So it's Monday, right? So that we need to change to it is Monday with an apostrophe S. And we said this one is breathe with an E. Will our town's mayor seek a second term? Find out more. So we should remember if we're referring to town, so will our towns, that means if we're referring to more than one town, right? Then we put the apostrophe outside. But if we're referring to one town, then we put the apostrophe, then we say apostrophe and is. right? Thanks for the beautiful scarf. I got lots of compliments on it today. I'm glad you like it. Compliments. Compliments does not have an E in the middle, whereas it has an I. It's like complete with an I. Mints. Why do people always leave their dishes in the sink? They at ease they are, right? That is not there, right? So we must say there, not there. All right, and yes, it's Mom and I finally going to see the new documentary about chocolates. All right. So that is our errors that we had to correct. Remember with different signs, signs are very important because signs are things that either shows directions or signs are things that basically gives us some form of information about either a company or places, right? So fixing errors within a sign is very much important, right? And knowing when to put apostrophes, when to put there, they, when it's a contraction, when it is things like that. You need to know the difference. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on usage error. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I really hope that you're going to have a good evening further. Goodbye.